Very good morning and Jai Hind children. Welcome back to chemistry class. Children, yesterday we have started a new chapter, that is chapter 6, changes around us, and we have done the introduction of the chapter. So today I am going to explain each and every topic in detail. Okay, so today we are going to study the introduction of the chapter again, and we will study what is reversible and irreversible changes and what is physical and chemical change. Okay, so I would request everyone to please open your book, children. Chapter 6, changes around us. So now I will be sharing the PDF of the chapter and also the PowerPoint so that it makes you more clear. Alright, so first, that is changes around us. So the first page, changes around us, that we have already studied. We have seen that there are various changes that are taking place around us every now and then. And if we talk about change, so there is a change in the shape of object, there is change in size of the object, there is change in the position of the object, color changes, state changes, that is solid, liquid and gas, that changes, and also their internal structure changes. So whenever we are talking about any change in the object or in the material, such properties or these properties of the components changes. Alright. So today in this chapter we will be studying about reversible and irreversible change and also physical and chemical changes. Alright. So this we are going to study today. I hope you have done the homework that I have told you to read the pages, read the first 2 pages. I hope most of you have done it. So children, now I am going to share the PPT and I will make it clear that what are reversible and irreversible changes. Alright, so chapter number 6, changes around us. So in this chapter we will be covering the following topics like introduction, reversible and irreversible changes, physical and chemical changes. Just a second, the spelling of change is wrong. So physical and chemical change, changes when different substances are mixed. Some more examples of physical and chemical changes. So these are the topics that are included in your this chapter number 6, changes around us. Okay, so we have done the introductory part of the chapter yesterday. Now today we will be dealing with the 2 topics, that is reversible and irreversible, physical and chemical changes. Alright, so now starting with first, that is reversible change. So children, as we have discussed yesterday, reversible matlab reverse karna, there is a term called reverse. Okay, so when any substance or any object is coming back to its position after there is certain change, it is called reversible change. Okay, when change that can be reversed again is called a reversible change. Okay, or you can also define as when the object comes back to its original form after a change, it is called reversible change. Okay, so I have one very interesting thing with me, and that is balloon. Alright, so I'll try to explain you with this balloon example. So children, as you know that earlier the balloon is of this shape. Alright, so it is normal shape of the balloon. When you go to market, you find this type of a balloon. Okay, now what I have done, I have fulaufied it. Okay, so now what happened, the shape and size of balloons changed, isn't it? So the shape and size of the balloon changes. So this is a change. First try to understand that there is a change. Earlier it was like this and now it is like this. So this is a change. Okay. Now coming to reversible and irreversible change. So see, I am squeezing it. Yes. So when I am squeezing it, you can see that its size is decreasing a bit but slowly as I leave it, it attains its original form, isn't it? When I am squeezing it, it is changing the form, but when I am releasing it again, it is again regaining its shape and it is again regaining its size. Okay, so such type of change, when it will again regain its original form, it is called reversible change. Getting my point? So this is a balloon. So when I squeeze it, it is changed. This is a change, alright. But when I'll again put it into a normal form, it will again regain its shape and size. So this is a example of reversible change. Getting my point? So this is called a reversible change. See? So let's see a few more examples of reversible change. Okay. So see, first example is squeezing of balloon. So I told you it will again regain its shape. Yes. So this is example of reversible change. Now this is ice cream. Okay. When ice cream is kept at room temperature, normal, so it gets melted. Isn't it? वो melt हो जाएगा. And now you keep it in a beaker. But again if you keep it in a refrigerator, then what will happen? It will again get solidified. Getting my point? So this is again a reversible change. Ice or ice cream will get melted when it is heated, but when it is cooled, it will again solidify and become a ice cream. Okay, so this is a reversible change. Getting it? Now another example is here, kicking of football. So when football is kicked, it is changing its position. Football is changing its position, but it can again come back to its original place. Football comes back to its original place. So this is again a reversible change. Okay. Now melting of wax. This is a reversible change. How? See, this is a candle. So we heat it, the candle will get melted, but again when it is getting melted, it is solidifying again and again becoming a wax. Okay. So wax is melted on heating, but when it is cooled, it again forms a wax. So it is a reversible change. What about chocolates? So when you purchase a chocolate and you keep it in a fridge, what happens? It remains solidified. लेकिन अगर आप चॉकलेट को बहुत देर तक बाहर रख दीजिए तो क्या होगा? वो मेल्ट हो जाएगी. लेकिन जब आप फिर से उस मेल्टेड चॉकलेट को फ्रिज में रखेंगे और उसको कूल करेंगे, so it will again regain its shape. Again it will be solidified. Alright. So this is an example of reversible change. These all are the examples of reversible change. Okay. Let's see what is written in the chapter. Let's come back and let's see what is written in the chapter about reversible change. So this we have done. Now coming on to reversible change. So there are few list of examples given. First is the shape of balloon come back to its original when you stop squeezing it. This we have seen. The balloon returns to its previous size when kept out of the sun for a little while. Okay, when you keep the balloon outside in a sun, it will again regain its shape. The kicked football can be brought back to its original position. I have told you. So this is a reversible change. A red hot piece of iron regain its original color when it is cooled. Iron है, एक piece of iron है, take a nail. Okay, when you are burning it, it will become red. Okay, but instantly when you cool it down, it will again regain its color. Okay, so this is also example of reversible change. The molten wax becomes solid again when cooled. This also I have told you. So all these changes are therefore can easily be reversed. So this is a reversible change. Children, always remember, in a reversible change, internal structure में कोई change नहीं आता है. Their shape can be changed, their size can be changed, their color can be changed. But the internal structure, the molecule of that substance will remain same. There will be no change in case of reversible change. Okay. So, see, in most reversible change, the internal structure of the substance involved does not change. उनके internal structure में कोई change नहीं आता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि when we are squeezing this balloon, the molecule or the substance of this balloon will change. No, it is not going to change. Alright, it will remain as it is. So these are called reversible changes. Okay. Now consider other changes like bursting of balloon cannot be reversed. Now with what I do, if I just burst it, I am not going to do that. Don't worry, I am not going to just burst it. So when you burst it, जब आप इसको फोड़ दोगे तो क्या होगा, वो अलग शेप में हो जाएगा. It will not again regain this shape. वो क्या होगा, वो फट जाएगा. You cannot again change that bursted balloon into a normal balloon. Getting my point? So we cannot reverse the bursted balloon normal to back to normal. Okay, so that is a irreversible change. That is irreversible change. Getting my point? So let's see a few more examples of irreversible change. So this we have done. We have talked about the examples of reversible change. Now coming to the examples of irreversible change. So this is omelette, if you know. So when you just break the egg and you put it in a pan and you heat it. Now what happens? This raw egg is now converted into an omelette. Okay. Now again you cannot convert this omelette back to the egg. Okay, आप इसको वापस से egg नहीं बना सकते. Okay, so this is a irreversible change. Okay, now burning of wood. आप wood को burn कर रहे हो. Okay, there is a change. You cannot again form the wood. आप वो wood दोबारा नहीं ले सकते. Okay, you cannot obtain the same wood after burning it. Okay, so this is a irreversible change. Same is with baking. Whenever we have atta, we make a dough of atta and then we prepare a chapati or a bread. Alright, so when the chapati or bread is prepared or roti is cooked, we cannot again convert that roti or chapati back to the flour. Okay, we cannot convert it back to the same atta or same dough. Okay, so this is also a irreversible change. Same is with the vegetables. जब भी हम कोई सब्जी बना रहे हैं, so we cannot again convert all the different vegetables back to its raw form. We cannot convert it. So it is a irreversible change. Our growth. So once we have attained our height, once our height is increasing, the height cannot again be retarded. Okay, so it is a irreversible change. So these all are the irreversible changes that are taking place around us all the time. Okay, so let's see what is written in the chapter. So we have talked about bursting of balloon cannot be reversed. Growth is a change that cannot be reversed. Growth also cannot be reversed, be it of animal, be it of plant, be it of humans. It cannot be reversed again. So it is a irreversible change. Cooking of food or burning of wax also cannot be reversed back. Okay, so all these things are irreversible changes. Okay, so these are irreversible change. In most irreversible change, there is a change in internal structure. So now what is the difference between reversible and irreversible? In case of reversible change, internal structure of substance does not change. Getting it? But अगर irreversible change है तो internal structure can change. Okay? The molecule that make up the substance undergo changes to form a new substance during growth, during cooking, during burning. Like whenever we are burning a paper. So when we are burning a paper, now paper is burnt and it is now converted into ash. Yes, वो black form के ash में convert हो जाता है. Okay, so there is change in the internal component of the paper. Getting it? So there is change internally. Okay, so in irreversible change, the change occurs internally. The internal structure changes, and that is why we cannot regain its shape. We cannot reverse it. Okay, so it is a irreversible change. However, in some irreversible change, the internal structure of the substance does not change. For example, when balloon bursts, there is no change in the molecule of the rubber. Okay, so when this balloon is bursting, when I am bursting this balloon, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि ये balloon हमने burst किया तो वो कोई किसी कागज में convert हो जाएगा, or it will convert into a paper or a plastic or something like that. The rubber will remain rubber. Alright, this rubber balloon will remain rubber as it is. Though its shape changes, its size changes, its pattern changes, but the main component or the main substance or the molecule will remain as it is. Okay, so this is the example of irreversible change in which the internal structure does not change. Getting it? So one way to group changes is to see if they are reversible or irreversible. So this was the one thing that we have seen, that it can be either reversible or it can be either irreversible. So I hope you are pretty much clear about what is reversible and irreversible. So reversible में क्या होता है? The things, if there is change, it can again regain its original form. Okay, that is called reversible change. Reversible change में कोई भी internal structure change नहीं होता है. There is no change in the internal structure of the substance. But in case of irreversible change, internal structure can change. Okay, but at times it does not change, as in case of bursted balloon. So if there is a bursted balloon, so it will remain as it is. The molecule of balloon will remain as it is. It is not going to change. Okay, so we have talked about reversible change, we have talked about irreversible change. We have also seen few examples of reversible and irreversible. Children, after the class, I will be sending you one worksheet. So in that you have few figures, and there you have to identify which is reversible and irreversible change. Okay, this homework you will do it in your rough notebook. Okay, that you will do in your rough notebook, and you will write only the names. Okay, write one, then reversible or irreversible, like that. Okay, so after the class I'll send you that homework. So please go through the school app, e-content, there you can find the homework. So please do that. Okay, so we have talked about reversible and irreversible change, and I hope it is clear to you. Now coming back to the topic, so we have done reversible and irreversible. This was one criteria to differentiate the changes. Another criteria to differentiate the changes is physical and chemical change. Okay, so what is physical change? If in a change there is no new substance formed, it is called physical change. If no new substance is formed, कोई नया substance नहीं बन रहा है after the change, then it is called physical change. Okay, but after a change, if there is a new product that is formed, a new substance is formed, it is called chemical change. Getting it? So now we are going to categorize the change as physical and chemical. We have done reversible and irreversible. Now we are going to differentiate it as physical and chemical. So a very simple difference between physical and chemical is, if any new substance is formed, it is called chemical change. But if no new substance is formed, it is called physical change. Okay, so let's see what is written in the chapter first. Alright, so we have done this. Now coming on to physical and chemical changes. One of the most important methods of classifying changes depends on whether new substances are formed during the change or not. If new substances are formed, it is chemical change. If no new substance are formed, it is physical change. Alright, so now quickly tell me, this balloon, so the change between these two balloons, is it physical or chemical? It is a physical change. Very correct. Okay, now coming back to few examples. So let's see few examples. Okay, let's see few examples first of physical change. See, kicking of football. So when we are kicking a football, is football changing? क्या football change हो जा रहा है? क्या उसके molecules change हो जा रहे हैं? Does the molecule of football is getting changed? No, it will remain as it is. Okay, even if you after playing the football, you even burst the football. बस अगर आपका football फट भी जा रहा हो, burst भी कर जा रहा है, then also the molecule of the football will remain as it is. It is not going to change. Okay, so this type of change is a physical change. Okay, I am not talking about reversible and irreversible. Right now I am only focusing on physical and chemical change. Then we will see among these which are reversible and irreversible. Okay, so now this football, kicking of football, because the molecule of this football, the material of this football does not changes, so it is a physical change. Getting it? Now see here, this is a paper, sheet of paper. So this is a tearing of paper. We have torn the paper into smaller pieces. Yes. So is the molecule of paper changing? यहाँ पे भी पेपर है और जब आपने इसको छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स में टीयर कर दिया, then also it is paper. Okay, ऐसा नहीं कि यहाँ पेपर है तो आपने इसको टीयर किया तो ये प्लास्टिक में कन्वर्ट हो गया. नहीं, it will remain as it is. The molecule or the substance from which the paper is made, it will remain as it is. Okay, so there is no new substance formed in tearing of paper, isn't it? So it is a physical change. Okay, it is a physical change. Okay, now see here, this is a pencil. आपके पास pencil होती है, so you write it from pencil, you again erase it and you again just sharpen it. So what happens? The size of pencil changes. The size of pencil changes, but the molecule of the pencil remains same, isn't it? It remains as it is, only the size changes. So is it a physical or a chemical change? It is definitely a physical change. Similarly, when you are using an eraser, so you are using the eraser, the size of eraser is changing. It will become smaller as you are using it. Okay, but the rubber will remain as it is. The eraser, the component of the eraser will remain as it is. It is not going to change. So it is a physical change. Getting it? Similarly here, this freezing of water. So when water is converted into ice, though the state is changing, ठीक है, वो liquid से solid में convert हो रहा है, the state is changing, but the main component, that is H2O, water is H2O, right? So water will remain water, H2O will remain H2O. State is changing, but the main molecule inside it is remain same. So this type of things is called physical change. These are the examples of physical change. Now you should also learn, see, can you see this figure of wheel? See, in a wheel what happens, after the wheel is constructed, हम एक band लगाते हैं उसके चारों तरफ, okay? And this is a very good example of expansion. What is expansion? जब कोई चीज expand कर जाए, like if you have seen an iron or a metal, so when you heat a metal, you can again give a new shape to that. Okay, it will get expanded. Okay, वो फैल जाता है, उसके molecules फैल जाते हैं. Molecule will remain as it is. It is only increasing and decreasing in size. Okay, this is called expansion. Expansion means increasing in size when we are heating it. That is called expansion. This property is used in case of wheels. Okay, so what happens, this band is prepared a little smaller in size than wheel. So when it is heated, it attains the size of the wheel and again it is cooled down. Okay, so that it remains sticked to the wheel. Getting it? So these are the examples of physical changes. Let's see what is written in the chapter. So first example here is kicking of football. So when you kick a football, its position changes. Position change हो रही है, but it remains the football. No new substance is formed. So this is called a physical change. Similarly, tearing of paper, I have told you, no new substance is formed. The molecule of paper will remain the same. Okay, so it is a physical change. Changing the size with use. Changing the size with use. So the size of pencil or eraser changes with use, but no new substance is formed. Okay, so it is a physical change. Similarly, freezing of water. So molecule of ice and water are exactly the same. No new substance is formed. Heating substance. If balloon is kept in the sun, its size increases because the air in it expands on heating. Expand हो जाता है. This is called expansion. You can clearly see here. See, expansion on heating is used to fit an iron rim to a wooden wheel. The rim, this is a rim. This you can see. This is a rim. Okay. The rim is made slightly smaller in diameter than the wheel. It is heated so that it expands. तो ये expand हो जाएगा. The hot rim is then slipped onto the wheel. Wheel के चारों तरफ हम उसको लगा देते हैं. The cold water is poured onto it to cool it. The rim contracts to cooling and firmly grips the wheel. Okay, so expansion is important here. Okay, expand का मतलब होता है फैल जाना. Getting it? So all these things where no change in substance takes place is called physical change. All these things are called physical change. Okay, so we should also see that most of the examples that we have seen are reversible in nature. Like kicking of football is reversible. Yes. Okay. Tearing of paper, it is not reversible. It is irreversible in nature. Changing the size, it is also irreversible. Freezing is reversible. Heating is, expansion is, reversible. Alright. So most of the physical changes are reversible except for few, that is change in pencil of size and tearing of paper. So most of the physical changes are considered as reversible change. Okay. So children, that was about the physical change, and again tomorrow at 9, like whenever we are having the next class of chemistry, so we will be continuing with the chemical changes and changes that occur when we are mixing 2 or 3 different substances. Okay. So now children, please go through the e-content. You have your homework there. Please do the homework in your rough notebook. Alright. So that's all for today's class. Thank you and Jai Hind everyone.